Let's take a minute and thank our sponsors for helping grow this podcast to bigger and better every episode. Our first one is SR3 ResQ Concepts, because you don't know what you don't know. Our next one is Life Saving Systems Corporation. We do our work so you can do yours. Tough gear for tough jobs. Breeze Eastern, the world's only dedicated helicopter hoist and winch provider. And Flippin' Coffee, brewing real coffee with real ingredients for real coffee drinkers. SR3 ResQ Concepts is a training company that can help with your helicopter training, standardization, and safety checks. Or maybe just an annual FAA refresher is what you need. They're ready to help your agency keep up to date with current techniques, rules, regulations, and equipment. The training staff is amazing, with certified flight instructor pilots and experienced crew members that are offering training in rescue, medical, tactical, firefighting, and ground operations. SR3 has partnered with Petzl to assist with a personal protective equipment inspection course and the highly specific Lizard, which is used for helicopter cliff and mountain rescue. And to add into it, they also teach ground, tactical, emergency care. Contact them today at sr3rescueconcepts.com. Again, sr3rescueconcepts.com, or follow them on Instagram at sr3_rescue. That's sr3_rescue. Then we have Life Saving Systems Corporation. Manufactures the world's toughest helicopter rescue gear. From their Triton harness, which is my favorite harness being a rescueman, to the rescue basket, litters, and of course the most popular hoist hook in helicopters, yes, the D-Lock. The team at LSC cuts, bends, sews, welds, and machines these products into existence every day and sends them on their way to us. We do our work so that you can do yours. LSC, tough gear for tough jobs. Check them out at lifesavingsystems.com. That's lifesavingsystems.com. And follow them over on Instagram at ResQGear. That's at ResQ Gear. Next is Breeze Eastern. Since the very first helicopter rescue in November 1945, Breeze Eastern has designed and manufactured superior rescue hoist solutions. While much of the technology and unique mission requirements has changed over the past 75 years, their commitment to the rescuers, operators, and those rescued has not. Contact Breeze Eastern today by visiting them at breeze-eastern.com. That's breeze-eastern.com. And the last one is Flippin' Coffee. At Flippin' Coffee, we roast each batch to perfection to bring that smooth, delicious cup of coffee that you won't find in most other brands. We like to keep it simple, brewing real coffee using real ingredients for real coffee drinkers. Contact them today at flippincoffee.com. That's FLIPPIN coffee.com. You can also follow them on Instagram at Flippin' Coffee. That's at FLIPPIN coffee. As a bonus, Flippin' Coffee is given a promotion. If you punch in promotion code, all capitals, REAL ResQ, you get 10% off. That's promo code Real ResQ, capitals, all capitals, REAL ResQ, and you get 10%. If you're just going to send everybody an email, just make sure you tell them one thing. Quinny sent me here. And thank you to all of our sponsors. Well, this doesn't happen very often, so I'm really psyched about this episode. We've got two guys coming to us from Norway. And from the release of this episode, this rescue happened like 2 weeks ago. And it was gnarly. Straight up awesome. These guys, their whole crew, and I'm giving credit to the entire crew, did one heck of a job. 2 helicopters, 50-foot waves, huge boat, taking on water. I don't even want to spoil it because it's an amazing story to hear. So buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Alvin Fyhn and Hans Jonas. My name is Jason Quinn. I am United States Coast Guard Rescue Swimmer number 500. These are my rescues and rescues from those of us that put our lives on the line every day so others may live. This is the Real ResQ Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real ResQ Podcast. Today I am pumped because I got two guys from Norway that just had a badass case. Just like the video is insane. I'm going to post it. If you haven't seen it, go search for it. They're flying with CHC up there in Norway. Mr. Alvin Fyhn and Jonas, welcome to the show. What's up, guys?
Hi, Jason. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here on your podcast.
Thanks, man. How are you, Hans?
Yeah, I'm excited. First time to ever be on a podcast.
Me too, but that's okay. You know, we slept at a Holiday Inn last night, so we're good to go. Oh, I'm just kidding. So you guys just had a gnarly case off Norway that kind of went a little bit viral through our world as far as the rescue world. And I'm so happy to have you guys here because I want to hear about this. I mean, you're talking, there was at least almost 10-meter waves, and if not bigger, and the boat was huge and listing to the right side, and 2 helicopter crews and 2 helicopters, and that was legit. So if you don't mind, just kind of give everybody a rundown. Well, actually, before we go that far, Alvin, if you don't mind, introduce yourself to everybody and tell them who you are and where you are and a little bit of a resume.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, my name is Alvin Fyhn, and I'm 43 years old. I've been a rescue man with CHC here in Norway for 10 years now. And I live on the west coast of Norway. My base is in Florø, where we have a rescue helicopter, Super Puma, for the Ministry of Justice. So we do both the rescues at sea. We do rescues in the mountains, summer and winter time. The highest peaks here are like above 7,000 feet. And we also do air ambulance missions, like close to 50% of what we do is air ambulance, actually. So the area of operation is big, both when it comes to different scenery, nature, and also different kind of types of rescues and medical work.
Nice.
So that's me and my base.
That's awesome. Mr. Hans, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, my name is Hans Jonas. I got 4 years experience as working as a rescue swimmer, so I'm basically a new guy still.
Nice.
I work with the CHC at Statfjord, Bravo, as we do the search and rescue for the oil industry. I'm stationed on an S-92 Sikorsky.
Great helicopter. I love that helicopter. And I haven't even flown on it, but I like it.
It just works.
It just works. It's a big machine.
It's a big thing. But that's basically it. We only do water rescue. That's our thing. There's not a lot of mountains stationed in the oil fields.
Yeah, no, there's not. And you're going offshore to a lot of oil platforms and stuff. So I get it. Yeah. I understand that world.
Yeah. So that's basically it. But we do sea rescue. That's our thing, and the medevacs.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so now I want to touch on this one case that you guys just did because it is insane. It's awesome. So, Alvin, I'll start with you and just kind of paint the picture. What was the call, and just kind of walk me through what you guys did on your helicopter.
Yeah, okay. We were actually having late breakfast, and about 10 o'clock, a little bit past 10. I was drinking our coffee, and then the scramble goes. They tell us there's a ship with what you call it when it's
pitching and rolling, or
like
listing.
Yeah, no, on the side.
Yeah,
listing.
listing to
listing, and 12 people on board, pretty far out from the coast, and they want to evacuate. There are 12 people, they want to evacuate 8 and then take it from there. So I'm like, okay, 12 people. We knew it was a storm from the weather forecast, and it was also at our base. It was pretty heavy weather. And when you got that message, my first thought was, okay, I'm going to go in the sea and pick those up, because it kind of, you got the feeling that the ship is with heavy listing, and in those waves, it might not be floating when we get there. It's close to an hour flying time because of the winds. It was 50 to 60 knots wind, and it was a headwind for us. So it took more than an hour to get there.
Holy cow.
So I'm preparing for that. We're taking out our stretcher and kind of trying to take out some equipment, all the mountain rescue equipment, to make the helicopter lighter. And we take full amount of fuel, so we can fly 3.5 hours. And I put on my sea pickup suit and equipment. And we'll go in 12, 13 minutes. We're taking off and setting the course.
Woohoo! All right, Hans, what about you? So your call comes in, and what do you get?
We got from the local air traffic control out in the oil fields that they who dispatch us. And we got basically the same call. It's a little bit farther out than 1 hour. But then again, it's everything stops, drop everything, and just prepare the machine for hypothermia patients. We basically knew already then that we wouldn't be the fastest one on station. Yeah. So we also prepared ourselves for a sea pickup.
Nice.
Just in case the vessel had gone down. So that was it. And more information coming. Yeah, it's rough.
Hold on, wait a minute. You just said that came over, the sea was rough. Like, seriously, Is that? I mean, we're talking. All right, so for all my imperial sense, if correct me if I'm wrong here, but it was like 10-meter waves. That's like 30 feet.
It was way more.
Oh, it was more than that.
The Danish fishing
10 was the day ahead.
Followed us. They talked to the local air traffic control. At one point during the pickup, it was 50 feet, so 18 meters.
50 feet, 18-meter waves? What?
Yeah.
Dude, that's it. That's crazy.
That's the most.
Yeah, that's a rough sea. Damn,
that's a rough sea.
Yeah,
that's what they call a rough sea in the North Sea here. No, in the beginning when we came, the waves were like significant waves were 12 meters.
Okay.
And like the average was 12, and the maximum was 15. That's when the operation started, when we came as the first helicopter.
Wow. All right, so Alvin, you guys show up on scene first, and I'm going to tell a little bit of the video, but I want kind of more of a backstory. But you guys hoisted guys right off the ship itself, which was amazing. How did that come into be? Like, when you came on scene.
Well, the first thing, normally when you have big waves and big ships and they go straight against the waves, they kind of only move in the pitch, up and down kind of. But the problem here was that it moved in 3 areas. Like, it was the pitch, and in addition you had the roll. It was rolling sideways because of the list, and it was like when at the minimum it was 5 to 10 degrees, but then it rolled down as much as maybe 45 degrees listing in the waves, because the waves came a little bit from the side. Yeah. In addition to the rolling, it also kind of moved around the yaw axis. The aft of the ship was moving sideways in addition. Yeah.
Which you see in the video as well.
Moving, it's going sideways, it's going up and down, and it's rolling to the side. So it's a little bit more movement in different axes than we kind of used to. And that's maybe what was the most special thing in this situation. And in addition to that, I don't know if you remember the Viking Sky 2 years ago, a big cruise ship here in Norway that almost hit the shore. We evacuated like 470 people from there.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that one
that was also,
later.
two years ago. And that was also 50-meter waves, but it was moving in the pitch, and it had a very clean deck with no danger of entangling the hoist wire.
Right.
But this ship was full of boats and a lot of different, stuff on the deck. So I had one space which was approximately 5 times 5 meter, where it was safe to come to land, and we had to hit that spot. And in such waves, you have those periods where the boat is moving a lot, and then you have like a calm period, and it goes for 10 to 20 seconds maybe, and then it will start moving a lot again. So we knew that if we were going to do this in a safe manner, which we have to, we will have to find that those 10 seconds. That's what we get. That's our window. So we use a lot of time. What's a lot of time? We use like maybe 10 minutes to kind of get to know the boat, see how it works, see how it's moving, see how the calm periods are, how often they come. Kind of do an evaluation with the door open. We're flying, we're testing the flying, how the helicopter works. We're doing a dummy run in to see the hover references for the pilot, and kind of pretend to do a hoisting just to see how it works.
Super smart. Super smart.
We always, in such situations, you should always do a dummy run. Yeah. And we very often we do that on training as well, even if we don't need it, because we want to train as you fight and fight as you train.
Love it. I do the same thing here.
Yeah. And that's really important. So we do everything. We take our time, the time we need to do a good evaluation, get to know the boat, and we find this spot. We do a brief to the people on board to how to handle the guideline. Do you call it guideline or
guideline, tagline, trail line? It's a rope.
Yeah, a rope with a weak link to those.
Correct. Yeah,
we call it guideline. So we delivered that, and from people who has never done it before, you don't get that much help.
No, you don't.
But you get a little bit, and no. So you're kind of, come on, help me a little bit here. And without that help, I'm not able to get down. So I'm trying to use my hands to signal to them how to keep it more tight, keep it more firm, to kind of stabilize me. And during some minutes, they kind of understand more and more, and I get more and more help from them. I think I'm in the wire under the helicopter for 8 or 9 minutes.
You're hanging below the aircraft?
Most of the time we're actually,
Wow, man.
Close to the ship, trying to kind of learn them to use this guideline correct. And when they start to kind of work that out, we are ready to do an approach and try. And I think we try 3 or 4 times before we get that spot when I was able to land. No, you kind of try. It's in such situations or conditions, I think it's quite normal to do several tries to. Also, you try one time, it doesn't work. You break off and you start over again. Yeah. And to break off, that's a standard procedure, or at least it should be. To break off is not it's not something dangerous, or you did not succeed. It's just a normal. If you are not sure that this will work correctly, if the pilot is not happy, if the hoist operator isn't happy, or I'm not happy, just break off, go out, and start over again.
Yeah, exactly. I
I
like,
think it's
we
very
call
much
it,
about that. Yeah.
I actually call that an abort. So just, let's abort this and move back to a safe position and
Yeah.
reset. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did that sometime, and then the window opened and I got down. Very nice. I get off the hook immediately and send it up, because I went down without rescue straps, without anything. I didn't want to have anything on my body that could entangle, because it was it was a lot of stuff there which I could entangle. So I wanted to be clean and just get down and get control of the steering line and try to teach those guys to help me, because every time the ship's is listing 40-45 degrees, the guideline is also kind of dropping down, and I'm afraid that it will entangle and I will lose the connection to the hook, and I have to lower a new guideline. So I'm using a lot of time to kind of find out how I can work this guideline with help from those guys, so that I don't lose it. So I mean, so that the weak link doesn't
break. Yeah.
So as soon as I kind of feeling okay and control of the situation, talking to those guys to help me, then I tell the helicopter we have in Polycon. I can talk to them on intercom from the radio in the West, and I hear them all the time. Everyone on board. I hear the hoist operator, the boat pilots, everyone. And they're talking to me. I tell them, okay, I'm ready. Send down the first rescue strap. Then we're starting. Yeah.
So, I mean, first of all, your pilots and air crew are on point, which is amazing. Like,
yeah,
you know, the hovers, like watching it from the other aircraft and just a video, and your winch operator. I mean, having to adjust for the seas and the boat movement. I mean, those guys were just on point. They were perfect. It was beautiful. It was a work of art to watch. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I really did a great job. The helicopter was so steady. The pilot was just really awesome. Both pilots were awesome, because the second pilot, he's helping out a lot, because he's reading the wave. He's looking at the waves in front. He's always looking at the altimeter, how we're moving, if the wind is coming from the side or in the front of the helicopter. Like, one pilot alone can't hover like that on such a boat without help.
No,
so he's also doing a great job to help the pilot in command to keep the helicopter steady. And we have an electrical hoist, which is pretty fast. It moves close to 2 meters per second, which also is a safety in such a situation. Every time you have to abort, you know that you're going to be hoisted up with a high speed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Comes up.
Are you guys using the Breeze Eastern or the Goodrich?
A good question. I think actually we have both.
Okay.
I think we have one hydraulic hoist and one electric, and I think it's one from each actually. In my house, in the Super Puma. I don't know, Hans, what's in the Sikorsky, it's 2 electrical hoists. I don't know.
No, I don't really know
Hans, what either.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Just figured I'd ask.
It's Breeze.
I should know it, but I
don't. You know what? You're going to go back to work tomorrow. You're going to be like, what's that damn hoist on the helicopter?
Yeah. To do the job.
I'm going to call my hoist operator later, but tell me, what's the name of that damn hoist?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. All right. So, Alvin, one more question, and then I want to jump on to you, Hans, is how many people did you pull off that vessel while you were there?
8 people. 8 people.
Okay.
One at a time. Normally, we are able to do 2 at a time, and we discussed it. But as I was down there, you know, I was not able to stand like on my feet. I was kind of 45 degrees angle. I had to really keep hold on to something, not to slide down. And the people that were going to hoist up, they were sliding as well.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't able to actually work with more than one person at a time because of the movement on the boats and the tilt, the listing. And in addition, it was so many things there where the hoist cable could entangle, which is the worst thing that can happen. Hoist cable entanglement is like worst case scenario. So you want to be 100% focused on that wire, not entangle. And in those conditions, I couldn't work with two people at the time. So for safety, I took one-on-one.
Perfect.
And we felt that we had enough fuel. The boat was floating, so no need to rush it.
Awesome, man. That is awesome. What rescue equipment were you using to pick those guys up with?
Standard rescues like this helicopter sling.
Rescue strap or quick strap.
The same as we use in water.
Yeah, nice.
Quick strap, same as we use from water.
Perfect. Easy. Nice. Dude, that's easy, awesome.
Fast, and these were young, strong people, so they can hold on. It's a good equipment for that situation.
Yeah. So you get 8 people off that vessel, plus you got inserted and you got extracted.
Yeah.
So there's 10 hoists going into that ship right off the get-go with your aircraft.
Yeah.
That is awesome. The whole air crew, awesome job. It is sick. That's beautiful. All right, Hans, and you're coming in as backup right now because there are 4 guys left on this boat that need to come off. Is that right?
No, not exactly. The 4 guys left, they were supposed to try to salvage the situation and save the boat.
Okay.
So when we got there, we were just watching Alvin starting his evacuation of the 8 guys. So we just went top cover and started filming. And of course, we were ready if anything should happen. It was a real gnarly situation. It just doesn't emphasize how bad it really was, and especially the landing area.
Yeah.
That was dangerous stuff.
Yeah, and I'll vouch for that. That video does not do the on-scene justice because those were big waves, a big ship, lots of moving parts. But okay, we as crew we thought okay, they're gonna take those guys off and we're gonna be on a merry way home to eating lunch. That's it. I love it.
And of course, we also had the Saver, a Sea King from Ørlandet, coming down as well. So we went top cover when Flora went back to Ålesund to refuel.
Okay.
And we stayed with the ship and just hovering behind it. And then we started to get low on fuel, so we started to fly in towards land, and Saver 04 took over as top cover. And we landed and talked to the guys, Alvin and the other guys, and I was like really upset. I was, you're always stealing my rescue.
That's what we do. I love it.
Yeah, I said that to Alvin, and you should be careful what you ask for. I just didn't realize what was going to happen yet.
Oh, that is awesome.
I think I answered something like, "Take it easy, man. It's gonna come to you one day too." And I was right. Wasn't I?
So as I remember it, Flora, the helicopter Alvin got a message from our JCC to go to Flora and take on the village pumps they have there.
Okay.
And we were to go out and maintain the top cover while Saver 04 went and got some more fuel. So we did that. We flew out again, and we could already see there that the ship was listing way more. It was getting even more gnarlier and more dangerous. So we just went top cover, and it was a couple of times there actually we thought the ship was going down. It was so bad. I was sitting all dressed up, ready to go, and just oh my god, it's going down. But suddenly just popped up out of the water again. So yeah, and then Alvin and the rest of his crew got on station and had with them their bilge pumps, and that was impressive actually. I have to say that was really impressive. One thing is to get Alvin down there, but Alvin he's a strong dude, and he knows what's going on. The bilge pumps, they don't cooperate.
Right.
And I have to say that was also impressive, the way they handle it. Delivered 2 bilge pumps.
How many pumps did you guys send down there, Alvin?
We sent down 2 bilge pumps.
Yeah.
They're like packed like completely with gas and everything and hoses and everything ready to use.
Yeah.
They're in this big box ready for hoisting. And there's 2 ways to do it. The one is to hoist down the rescue swimmer, and we can use the guideline and kind of control it, hoist them down with the hoist cable. And that was what we were planning for, because we had already been on a boat, so we thought that should be okay. And then when we were on our way out, Hans and his crew told us that it's a little bit worse here now. So, but you can look at it. And I remember when we came back, my pilot said, "Oh shit, Alvin, you're not going down there again." Not for 2 bilge pumps.
Wow.
I agreed, because it was much worse. So the plan B is to kind of lower them down without using the hoist cable. So we lower them down, and we have the weak link up in the helicopter. So as soon as we kind of we use kind of a rappelling device to lower them from the helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the old standard rappelling, what you call it, like this 8.
The figure 8.
What everyone used to when they rappelled. 30 years ago, everyone used it for rappelling. So we used that one to lower them down, and as soon we are on top, and we let it down. We let the rope just go, and we released everything from the helicopter. So we're kind of safe all the time, and we did that with 2 boxes.
Okay.
They can take 1,000 liter per minute when you're going. 1,000 liter of water per minute. So it's okay.
Yeah.
And that was what they needed at that moment. Yeah.
But that wasn't enough, because Hans, this is about Hans time. So Hans, what after these guys drop that stuff on, what happens with you guys?
Yeah, we started to get low on fuel, so we went back into Ålesund to refuel.
Okay.
And again, we thought, that was it. Now we're going home to eat dinner. That's cool. And then we started to hear a little bit talk on the radio, and the captain confirmed after landing, after talk to the what do you call the dispatch or something like that.
Yeah, dispatch is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that now the situation has ended. We need to evacuate the last 4. And then I thought, but Flora is there being top cover. They're gonna do it then. And then they started to get low on fuel as well. So we kind of realized that it's our turn then. So then it was game on.
Yeah, buddy.
Everyone was really excited, and then we started to fly out, and we met Flora halfway, and I think we asked them if they had some last-minute tips. And
you're talking to the other crew. You're asking the other crew. Okay.
And we also got the confirmation that one of the crew members was injured at this time.
Because those guys are working with the pumps. They're trying to get this stuff going. So some guy gets hurt as they're trying to work in this boat that's rocking and rolling. Holy smoke.
Yeah.
Let's make matters worse. Why wouldn't we do that? That's nice.
And that made the situation a little bit different. And we didn't know what was wrong with him. Was he crushed? Was it CPR? Was it a stroke? Was it a traumatic brain injury? What was going on? And I talked to the medic and the rest of the crew how I'm gonna solve this situation, because I'm not really keen looking at the situation of taking down the stretcher aboard that ship.
Right.
Because the stretcher that is really dangerous in those conditions.
Yeah.
But okay, we need to get closer to the ship and talk to them and try to figure out what was going on. So yeah, we went back on station, we talked to them, and the situation was really bad. It was listing even more. The movement was erratic. It was a huge movement on the ship. And it was really, the sea was, it was really difficult to read the waves as well. So we talked to the guy who was injured. He has, they injured his back, being on deck when the ship rolled.
Okay.
But he could move, and he had never been unconscious or anything else. It's just his back was bad.
Yeah.
But he could walk. Okay, then it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So we made one attempt landing at the same area as Alvin. I gave it as like a 3 to 5% chance that it could work if the guy on deck could hold on to the guideline good. But we soon realized that that was futile. I think I had 9 or 10 near-death experiences hanging inside the ship. And
you had, hold on,
yeah,
I gotta, let me recap that. You had 9 or 10 near deaths during that time. That's awesome.
Yeah. If we had moved in, I would be messed up really bad.
Oh gosh.
And that poor guy on deck, he was hanging on for dear life. He couldn't hold on to a guideline. So basically, we lowered the guideline, we lowered me beside the ship. And then 10 seconds later, I just took the guideline off the wire and throw it in the sea. And hoisted up and said, no, we're not gonna do that.
Smart move.
So, yeah. So then the option was, you gotta jump in the sea. And I wasn't really that keen on it, and I could understand that. But if I can't promise them a safe evacuation from the ship, then it's much safer to do it from the sea.
Right.
Even
totally agree.
For people, even if for people who don't understand it, it looks really bad and maybe worse than hoisting from the ship, but it's much safer.
Yeah. You're in pretty much open water, and looking at the video, it's not dark. It is stormy, but it's still light enough out so you can watch him jump into the water and grab him. Okay.
Yeah. So and then we talked to the guys on the ship, and they reluctant, what it's called. They wasn't agreeing with jumping in the sea, but they didn't have any choice. So that's that's the thing.
Yeah. You want to ride the boat in? Just call them up. You want to ride that boat all the way down to the bottom of the ocean? Whatever.
Yeah, it was basically that. But you have to do it before it gets dark. Big waves, night, and a ship that's rocking and rolling. That's not fun. That's hairy. So we got in position behind the ship, and we talked to them, and the first guy who should jump in the water should be the guy who was injured. And I would be hanging behind the ship and give them the hand signals to jump when it looked okay.
Yeah.
And then again, I also thought to myself that when I was hanging behind the ship and I started to give hand signals, it took a couple of times before the first guy jumped. I was thinking to myself, there's no way that he's going to jump. This is just no, he's going down with the ship. And then on the third time I gave the hand signal, he jumped, and it's funny afterwards. It was kind of big surprise to me. I said some words not bad words, but the words in surprise that he actually jumped. I didn't believe it, that he was going to do it.
I'm sure it was something like, holy shit, he actually did it.
Yeah, something like that, basically Norwegian.
Oh, in Norwegian, that's right. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so now you got. Go ahead. I'm loving this.
And then I got the first one in the water, and this is kind of strange. It's kind of funny though, but the guy he had a survival suit on, and he also had a life jacket. But he had a life jacket on his stomach. So when he was lying in the water, he was lying on his stomach and he didn't move. So I got frantic with the hand signals. Just get me down. Oh my God, he's what happened? Is he dead? Like everything went through my head, and so they dropped me down in the water, not far from him, as we had agreed on, and as we always train on.
Yeah.
And I started to swim for dear life, and then suddenly, when I was half a meter away from him, he lifted his head and looked kind of surprising at me, and I was like, "Whoa, he's alive!" Like, oh my God. Oh,
but God. It's such a sigh of relief. You're like, oh, thank God you're still alive. Okay, now let's get you to the helicopter.
Yeah, and that's the thing with those kind of waves. Even if it's a fast electric winch, you have to be really on target, especially with the timing on the waves, or else it's gonna get rough. Really bad.
And that's having a fantastic hoist operator and a phenomenal pilot up top above you. That's what that comes down to.
Helicopter.
Yeah. So shout out to those guys again. I mean, wow.
And and of course those guys I flew with was the same guys I was with on the Viking Sky as well. Exactly the same guys. So I know I always flew with those guys. I know that they were on the ball. I could remember how they talked to each other, and they wasn't stressing or anything at all. So this was just practice.
Yeah.
So I was really assured by that communication they had with themselves. But then again, get the sling on the patient. You know, there's three things in the water. That is the wire control. Do not get that wire around yourself or the survivor.
Yeah.
Get the sling on correctly, and try to maintain a good body positioning, even if you get lifted up hard. So that was those things. And the fourth thing I thought about was that I better not screw this up because Alvin is watching. he's
come on. You know Alvin's like critiquing right there. He's like, he does this right.
He's like a senior instructor as well. So, you know, he knows what's going on. Oh yeah, it was quite funny. I actually thought about it when I exited the helicopter first time. Oh, you better not screw this one up.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So yeah.
So this is only guy one too, right? Like this is the first guy. You still got three more to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, and everything went okay. It was a little bit rough. We missed a little bit on the timing on the first one, but okay. We got up in the helicopter, and my medic, he's a huge guy. He's 210 to 2 meters, 10 centimeters, and 130 kilos with just muscles.
Oh, so good Lord.
Yeah, he pulled us in all the way. My feet wasn't on the deck before I was halfway through the helicopter. So yeah, it was quite funny.
We'll throw something out. He did it with one hand too, right?
No, he uses both.
Sure he did.
Yeah,
2 meters tall. Yeah, no, it was one hand. That's what I'm saying. It was one hand. I wasn't even there.
I actually started laughing in the helicopter because of it. And then we did a really fast recap, me and the hoist operator, just talking about a little bit about the angles and the movement of the sea, that we have to be a little bit more careful about making the exit out of the water. Just a small corrections there. And then, the second one and third one and fourth one, it basically went perfect. I can't complain anything. It just went smooth sailing.
Nice. Very nice.
we also talked about it. We got one survivor at the time, and we have to use a lot of time between the sets of waves and just to try to figure out the timing correctly.
Wow. Man, and that's like hats off to the pilots and the hoist operator, or your winch operator, as you guys call them out there, because they like getting that timing to get us as rescue men into the water and just making those slight adjustments as the wave's coming up and going down and going peak of the crest of the wave, trough of the wave. I mean, the hoist operators are working. So, man.
As I said to that guy, is I don't know how many times they saved my life, but I think they're the greatest people in the world.
Yeah, man.
You could be the greatest rescue swimmer in the world, but it doesn't matter if you don't have a good hoist operator or good pilots.
That is a fact, man. Absolutely, totally agree with you. So
I call the hoist operators my guardian.
Me too.
I just call them my guardian because they really are.
Yeah. They're the guys that make sure we get on deck safely and back in the helicopter. Thank you to them.
They're a really unappreciated group of guys.
Wow. All right. So, Alvin, I do have a question about Hans's work there. With everything you saw, would he have passed the check ride? Did he do all right?
I have to think about that.
Oh, come on, Hans.
I was looking, and it was really good. I was proud of him. At the same time, you're sitting there and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm ready. I can pick one. I want to do this." But I'm happy. I'm happy we could share this experience with the other helicopter, the other crew. We are colleagues, we know them very well. And to work together like that, having the safety of another helicopter as a top cover in case something happens, it's great. And it was, I had really a good, the front seat there looking at that operation. And they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, you know what? And again, I saw literally a 30-second clip of what you guys did. And you're telling me, Hans, that you went back for you went through 3 bags of gas. So you flew out once, went back to refuel, flew out again, went back and refueled, and flew out again. Alvin, I believe you did the same thing, went out there basically 3 times. And if you're flying 3 hours at a pop, you're looking at almost 9 hours worth of flight time to make this happen. So that is a long day, especially when you're flying that long. And then with all the work in between, the whole crew, you guys must have been exhausted when you got back.
Well, adrenaline is kind of funny thing.
Yeah.
It was quite funny when we got back to Stadfjord. I tried to get down and get some sleep. I think I showered 2 times, but it was hopeless. I had way too much adrenaline in the body, so I didn't feel it for the next 12 hours. The next day was really bad, though. I was so tired.
Yeah. Wow, man, awesome. You know what, guys? I'm psyched. To see what you guys did. 12 lives saved. Property, you saved them, and between the 2 guys working, it was awesome. Well done to both you guys and all the air crew. Throw them in there as well.
So, do you know why Alvin is the legend?
I'm excited to hear, why is Alvin the legend?
Because the 8 guys on deck, that's one thing, but he actually managed to lower 4 guys in 10-meter waves at that ship later on.
What?
A couple of experts. That's what makes him the legend. That's easy.
So what you're saying is there's more to this story than just that rescue. You went back out to the ship to send guys back in to save the ship?
Yeah, he did that.
Oh, come on. That's awesome.
That is a really big thing that they managed to do, because I have never even in my wildest dreams when we were there, that somebody's going to do that. And that's skills. That's really skills to manage to do that.
Nice. So Alvin, back to you, my friend. Hans just threw you like right into the blades, man. So you guys went.
Well,
did you guys go back out the next day, or was it the same day?
2 days after.
So 2 days later,
we
the
kind
boat's
of
still
did the
floating.
planning
Okay.
The next day on
Yep.
Tuesday, and it's drifting. It's still floating. It actually at some point the engine stopped and it started drifting because they put it on autopilot to just go northwest.
Okay.
And hopefully try to. Their plan was probably to cover it some days later, far out in the Norwegian Sea. But at some point the engine has stopped and it started drifting, and some of the boats, the most heavy boat on the top deck, was gone. And luckily, because that probably saved the whole ship. It was that boat weighs 255 tons. That one boat on the top that was gone.
Yeah.
And I guess that happened when the ship started drifting sideways in those waves. I'm sure it listed much more than we can imagine. And this boat popped off deck, and that probably saved the ship. And the ship is drifting towards shore, and they think that it might hit shore during Wednesday, like 2 days later, but they don't know for sure. And it will, if it hits the western coast, it will be a catastrophic event when it comes to like all the oil. It had extremely much oil on board. So they really want to save the ship because of that, because of the environment.
Yeah.
And so they ask us if it's possible. They ask some other helicopters to do it, but they won't. And we said that we can't answer that without going out and take a look. You can fly out, take a look, and we'll tell you. And when we came out there Wednesday morning, it was still like 10-meter waves, maybe a little bit less. And the listing was still like, it was no sideways in the waves. So every time a wave comes, it lists like 40-45 degrees again, and goes a little bit up and down, but of course it's much calmer than the other day. But now there's no person on board, there's no one to give a guideline or anything, so I have to get down there without the guideline, which will be challenging. But we, as earlier I said, we also do mountain rescue equipment. Actually, we did use mountain rescue techniques done on the boat and equipment because to hoist down was okay, but when down on deck you need to be safe, not to slide off the ship on the wrong way as it's drifting. So what I was afraid of was to slide on the deck. And so we did a new evaluation. We kind of found what was the risk here, and did some dummy runs again. We did some planning on how we could do this. And we went up and met these 4 guys from the Netherlands whose job is to save ships like this. So they've been in helicopters before. They've been with US Coast Guard. They've been around the world, being hoisted down here and there. So they were kind of experienced. I showed them the video and pictures and told them my plan and the equipment I wanted to use to have a safe procedure, like from going off the hoist hook. You have to anchor to something.
Yeah.
Or before you go off the hoist hook, you should be anchored. But we don't want to anchor the helicopter on a boat that's moving.
Right.
So we have something called the Lizard. It's a helicopter evacuation tool for mountain
Made by
You know the
Petzl.
Lizard?
I do know
Yeah,
the Lizard.
exactly. The Petzl Lizard. So I used the Petzl Lizard. I trained them on the
Good for
airport.
you guys.
I show them how it works and why it works, and that we were going to use that. I trained them to come down, that I would go down, I would use the guideline, and as they come down, I will have a rope for them, which I had prepared, so they could use the Lizard anchored to that one, and I would take off the hoist hook and send it up. And then they could like move along my rope to a safer position on the boat where they could kind of hold on to some. So the combination of mountain rescue equipment, techniques, and experience with boats did it possible in a safe manner.
Brilliant.
It's challenging.
Brilliant.
And both me and those 4 guys, we were sliding several times on board. So we needed that safety, that anchor.
Man, that is awesome. And you guys saved the boat.
We saved the boat.
So
and the coastline.
Man, all right, this is an incredible story, you guys. That is awesome. My gosh. So 12 guys off the ship. Then you save the ship. The coastline is clean. Man.
Yeah.
Hats off, you guys. Well done. Well done. Man. And thank you so much for coming on to share it with me. Yeah. I'm sure it was.
Happy to share.
Yeah, no worries.
So that is a great lesson learned right there, that, using the Lizard and mountain equipment for something totally different, that I have no doubt when Petzl hears this, they're going to be like, man, we didn't even think of that, using it on a vessel for something like that. But I want to throw the question out to both you guys. Are there any other lessons learned that you guys can pass on to everybody else? I'll start with you, Alvin. Anything else?
No, I think bottom line is it's really important to train as you fight. Don't do any differences. You have to train as you fight, and you have to fight as you train. So that makes us safe. And so always use your time to good evaluations and find all the risks that's there and how we can kind of avoid them and mitigate them. And I think it's very much about that. And we have to train. If you're going to do operations in such weather, you have to train in that weather too. You have to train in rough sea.
Yes.
We do that often. We go out in rough sea and do training. Also, I think it's important that those days that are no waves and sunny and you have your sunglasses on and life is really awesome when you hoist down to a ship on the training, you should not relax too much. You should actually think that you should kind of pretend that the waves are 10 meters and it's dark and everything, and kind of do all your procedures as it was much worse, so you get good at them. Never relax, be like on the alert, and really try to imagine that it's really bad conditions and train for that. Use every occasion you have to get good procedures.
Great advice.
Great
advice. I can't agree more. That's brilliant. And Hans, what about you? Anything from you out of your experience going down to the water?
No, I don't think more. I totally agree with Alvin. You have to train as you fight and use those rare occurrences when it's really bad weather to train. That's important. And that's it. And always try to maintain a good CRM with the crew.
Very, very good call. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's really important. But then again, those are my best friends, the guys I flew with. So yeah.
Well, that certainly helps.
Yeah, certainly helps. So no, I don't think. Train as you fight and maintain a good CRM and try to be positive. always try to get the other guys better.
I love it. I love it, man. You guys did a bomb job. I'm so pumped for you guys. It's so excited for you guys. Again, lives saved, property saved. Well done to both of you guys, for sure. For sure. So, that covers this case. Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to sign off for the moment, because I don't want to take anything away from this. You guys did such an amazing job. If everybody out there who is listening has not seen this, I'm going to post it on my Instagram. Just take a quick 30-second look to see what these guys went out to and what they were looking at. And I promise you that video does not do it justice, because what these guys did was phenomenal. So freaking awesome job, you guys. You guys are incredible. So, and we're going to have you back for sure. So thank you again for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Nice meeting you.
You too. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Real ResQ podcast. Please take a minute and, as my daughters like to tell me all the time, like and subscribe. Oh yeah, I appreciate it. So I'm pulling chocks and taking off. But before I go, if anyone out there has a rescue story and would be willing to share it, I would be humbled and honored to have you as a guest. Or if you have any questions about rescue or anything else here that we talk about, please send me an email at therealresq@gmail.com. That's TheRealResQ@gmail.com. Or you can also check us out on our Instagram page at The Real ResQ, and that's at TheRealResQ. And for all of you standing the watch today, remember, when that SAR alarm goes off, those in distress are praying for a miracle. They are going to get you. Until next time, stay safe out there, everybody.